Hello, this is Gio. Hey, we're in my backyard and I've been trying to get this place set up for my new dog. And one of the things I have to do is to make a fence so he doesn't escape. So the length of yard I have to block off is about 17 feet wide, essentially from my house to the property line where there's an existing fence. So my dog's going to be fairly large. He's going to be about 75 pounds, so I'll probably need at least a 5-foot high fence. So originally I was going to construct the fence out of wood, similar to what you see on the side yard. But it's really a dark backyard. It has a large tree, and so I want to keep it open. So I finally decided that I would construct it out of a metal fence. So when selecting metal fences, you typically have three options: chain linked, aluminum, or cast iron. Now I didn't want chain linked fencing, so that left me with the aluminum or cast iron, and cast iron was really outside of my budget, so that left me aluminum. So I went ahead and ordered this heavy duty Concord black aluminum fence. I ordered two 8-foot sections and a 4-foot wide gate. I also ordered four 7.5-foot high posts. These are 2.5 inches wide, 14 gauge aluminum. So first things first, let's take my post hole digger and dig 2.5-foot deep holes to accommodate the posts. But unfortunately, when I started on my second end post, I hit a snag right off the bat. When my neighbor constructed his fence, he wasn't that careful with his concrete placement. And the concrete for his end post, he really overpoured and sloughed in the area where I wanted to put my exact post. And instead of moving my post, I decided to use my pneumatic air impact hammer to chisel away some of the concrete. However, this didn't solve all my problems. You see, I have very rocky soil, and I encountered two large cobbles that I couldn't get out of the hole because they were essentially cemented in, and that prevented me from achieving the 2.5-foot deep hole. But I wasn't that concerned about that since my hole was quite a bit wider than I originally planned, and it was already abutted against existing concrete, which should help support the post. So I just cut off the end of the post to accommodate the shallower hole and called it good. So after hammering in a couple of stakes and installing a level guideline, it was time to install my fence. I started by loosely placing one fence post and fitting in a single fence panel and leveling things up. I then did the same thing on the other side to see how things lined up. And next it's time to cement in the posts. I selected a fast setting concrete for the posts, which will basically harden and allow me to work with the posts within about an hour. But first I'm going to put in some gravel in the hole to promote drainage. So unlike normal concrete, where you mix the concrete with water before you place it, with the fast setting concrete, you're actually putting it in the hole dry. But you first want to fill up the hole partially, probably about a third of the way up. And you're basically pouring in the dry mix into the pooled up water in the hole, and the concrete will displace the water and saturate as you pour it in. Add additional water as needed. After cementing in the two end posts and waiting for them to set, I loosely fitted in the two panels and leveled them. Next, I need to figure out where my gate's going to be. I need to trim out both 8-foot long panels because they're too long to fit the gate. And so I need to carefully locate where the gate's going to be and measure where I'm going to cut the two panels. So next I excavate the two remaining post holes and install one of my posts against one of the panels in the approximate location where my gate's going to be. I level the post and mark the locations for the cut. Because the fence panels don't fit flush with the gate posts, I have to cut a little notch at each connection point. With the first panel cut, I install it into the post, level everything up, and then cement in the first gate post. And with the first gate post set, I loosely place the gate in position, spacing it between the posts. But before I can cement in the second gate post, I first have to measure and cut the second fence panel, then loosely fit everything together, leveling things out, making sure everything fits. And only then can I pour the final gate post. So once the concrete sets, the posts and the panels aren't really going to go anywhere, but you still want to install the screws that come with the fence kit. And to do this, you just pre-drill the holes and then drive the screws. And don't forget the caps to your posts. So with the fence panels in, it's time to secure your gate. So I'm going to be using two spring adjustable hinges, a standard gate latch, and a gate stopper. Again, you just need to pre-drill the holes, drive the screws, then test your hardware. And there you go, the completed gate. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit that like button at the bottom of the screen, and even consider subscribing to my channel. I'll have many more videos to come. Bye-bye.